Welcome to our talent. I'm Juan Vera. I've been teaching guitar at Miami-Dade College for the past 24 years. The music I just played is by contemporary Cuban composer Leah Brower, who was born in 1939 and is regarded by many as one of the great guitar composers in history. Brower studied in the United States at the Juilliard School of Music before returning to the island and staying there until 1992, at which point he was named music director and conductor of the Córdoba Symphony Orchestra in Spain. This pre-revolutionary work was composed by Brower at the surprising age of 16 and given to his older friend and legendary Cuban guitarist Juan Mercadal, who did not neglect to include it in his historic recording, Juan Mercadal at Vizcaya, once in Miami. The recording can be heard online. The piece itself is highly nostalgic and intense and very romantic. It evokes images of 1950s Cuban landscapes, sunsets, and nightfalls. While brief in length, the work manages to capture a moment in that eternal tropical island, as described by one of its poets, Guillermo Cabrera Infante. Juan Mercadal referred to the work itself as, quote, one of the finer things written by such a young man, end of quote, when he reunited with the composer during 1979 performances in Toronto, Canada, where he performed the work for Brower years after having received the original manuscript from the composer in Havana. Brower later abandoned this original lyrical style in favor of more conceptual and intellectually based compositions, perhaps to his detriment and to our own, only to return to his original sensitive, inventive, and exceptionally beautiful style decades later. Brower enjoyed success as a guitar performer, but he started at age 14, which he thought was late for a guitar student. But he took on guitar with such fervor that he soon required several back operations from practicing up to 8 hours a day. At continuing education at Miami-Dade College, we want everybody to begin as young as possible. And today we're going to be talking to 3 of my students. They are 3 girls ranging from ages 6 to 9 who are already developing a personal and distinctive touch and style on the guitar. We'll be talking to them and listening to them play in a moment. We're going to be displaying our contact information throughout the show. If you are interested in taking guitar lessons or know anyone who is interested, give us a call or send us an email and we'll be glad to get in touch with you. And now we're going to be talking to 9-year-old Melanie Nicole Torres, who at age 9 is developing really precise and advanced technique, especially on the right hand, in a way that sometimes even professional players are lacking. And we want to talk to her about this. Well, welcome, Melanie.
Hi.
When did you, what age did you begin to play the guitar?
7 years old.
7 years old? So you've been playing for like 2 years?
Yeah.
Now we talked about your right hand. For those of you who know about guitar, you will see that in her right hand we see very advanced techniques. We see very precise exchanges, quick movements, pressure on the string, follow-throughs, things that are normally not done by a 9-year-old. Melanie, how does a 9-year-old manage to do that?
I don't know.
How do you do it? Do you learn by watching? Or do you listen to explanations? What works better for you?
Listen to explanations.
To explanations?
Yeah.
Well, you watch and imitate what you see?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, you just had a performance at the South Florida summer camp, the South Florida Youth Symphony. And you played the South Florida Youth Symphony meets at the North Campus of Miami-Dade College. And you had a performance in front of 300 or 400 people at the audience. How did that go?
Good, I guess.
Did you play well?
Yeah.
Did you get nervous?
A lot.
Yeah? How do you deal with getting nervous and still being able to go out there and playing well as you do? How do you do it?
Just look at my grandma.
Oh, your grandma? Why?
Because I love her.
So she's always there watching you.
Yep.
Now you are 9 years old, but you were playing a big guitar. You borrowed a big guitar because your own guitar. Was it at the guitar hospital? Did you have an accident?
Yep.
Well, what is it coming out?
I don't know.
Now looking at your hands, I see you got a really nice manicure. What colors do you have there for both hands for guitar playing?
Pink, blue, and green.
Oh yeah. Now can we make a definite recommendation to all guitar players out there? Which are the best colors to play guitar with?
I don't
for
care.
Everybody. Huh?
I
What
don't
do you
care,
think?
but I prefer light colors.
Oh, like what?
Green, blue,
So it's more
purple.
flashy like that.
Yeah.
Now, Act 3, Scene 1, Hamlet, Shakespeare. I understand that you like to recite sonnets by Shakespeare. You
Well, I
wanna do that
forgot it.
on TV? Like, how's it go? Like, to be
To
or not
be
to
or
be?
not to be? That is a question. I forgot.
What else? Whether it's nobler in the mind, what else? To suffer the sling and arrows. Anything? Oh, you gotta go with that. What are your goals with guitar?
Well, for this year, go to the 15th song.
Very good. So you've been playing like 15 pieces each. It's more difficult than the other. Are you going to quit early? Or are you going to retire early? Or are you going to play until, how old are you going to play? Till what age?
Depends.
Forever. All right. Now we're going to listen to Melanie play. She's going to play several pieces for us. She's going to play Andantino and a piece by Matteo Carcassi, Study Number 7. Wow, Melanie, that was very nice. That was a great performance. Now we're going to go to some messages and we'll hear Melanie play again the second work.
The robotic club meet twice in every week. Wednesday beginning at 12, not 10 hours, and Fridays beginning at 1.
Well, the Rubik's Cube uses an algorithm to solve the Rubik's Cube. It reads each color and saves it into the memory and adjusts it with series of flips and turns, and that's how it solves it.
Well, you know, the robots, we are working with robots for already around 5 years. We began not with this robot, we began with Bex Robotics company.
I mean, it's the in thing now, you know, it's what fascinates, you know, every person, you know, every individual, every young person, you know, it's the thing that it's coming more realistic, you know, than back in the years when it was futuristic, you know, so everything's happening.
In the MDC campus, we would like to hopefully build a robot that goes around the campus and helps students find their classes and interact with people, kind of to get the robotics club out there and help out a little bit.
A convergence of different disciplines, very interesting, right? Math, physics, electronics.
A world of education and opportunity within reach. You're watching MDC-TV.
Cool programs for hot jobs. Let Miami-Dade College jumpstart your career. We offer bachelor's degrees in film and TV production, nursing, electronics engineering, information systems technology, supervision and management, supply chain management, or choose from 300 other programs to study. You can take classes during the day, evening, weekend, or online. For more info, visit mdc.edu or call 305-237-8888. Get the knowledge and training for today's in-demand jobs. Register now. Miami-Dade College.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Juan Carlos Vera, and now we're going to be talking to 9-year-old Corina Liseth Mancia, who has been playing guitar for about a year and a half and is developing a really intense and dramatic style of guitar playing, which is only matched by her uncanny sense of fashion and dress. And we'll be talking to her about these things. Welcome, Corina.
Hello.
You've been playing guitar for how long? At what age did you begin?
8 years old.
8? So you've been playing for about a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
Now, we say that you play in this very intense way. It's highly dramatic and exciting. So how does a 9-year-old do that? And why?
You need to practice.
Oh, yeah? So, like, is that the way you are? Like, you express yourself in that way?
Yes.
Now, you're also, you like science a lot, right? Like, in schools, what are your favorite subjects?
Reading and math.
Reading and math. Do you think that doing guitar has helped you to do better, like concentration, memory? Have you gotten better in school after you began to do guitar?
Yes.
Why?
I got better in my music class with guitar and other instruments that involve string.
How many guitars have you had?
2.
Do you still have the other one, or?
No, my music teacher has it now.
Now, we want to tell everybody out there, we want to help them, and we want to know some definitive things about fashion and guitar. Like, we want to know, is it better to play with a scarf or without a scarf?
Without a scarf.
Without a scarf, why?
Because it could get in the way when you're playing.
Oh, I see. Now, is it better to play with a hat or without a hat?
With a hat.
Why?
Because everybody needs a hat.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, that should be very obvious. Now, what about shoes or sandals?
Shoes.
Why?
Because you don't want your feet freezing.
She has it right. Yeah, very good. Now, what are your goals with guitar playing? Like, what do you want to be? You want to be, like, famous?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're famous already.
Oh.
And now we're going to be watching Corina play. What are you going to play for us? How many pieces are you going to play for us?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe 1 or 2? Very good. So we're going to watch Corina play 2 variations on pieces by Aaron Shearer. And we'll come back in a moment.
Okay.
Great. Wow, that was a super nice performance. Did you get nervous playing on TV?
A little.
Well, you don't get very nervous, do you?
No.
Why? What do you think about when you're playing?
I'm going on a crazy water slide.
Oh yeah, like a super crazy water slide? How does that look like?
It has lots of stuff on it.
Like how high is it?
Really high.
And like what do? You slide?
Yeah.
And you get splashed when you get below? Yeah, that sounds fun. You take your guitar when you do that?
I'm afraid I'll drop it and break it.
Oh, okay. So it won't get wet?
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right, and now we're going to go to a break, and we're going to see Corina play one more piece for us.
Thanks for joining us for this momentous announcement and news conference where details will be provided about this fall's 2014 MIA Animation Conference and Festival right here at Miami-Dade College's Wolfson campus. Well, today's discussion is so important and so timely. It's about the future now, about the future today. It's about trends in the industry. It's about Miami-Dade College. It's about our workforce and our economy.
We're privileged to be hosting this event, which will attract animation enthusiasts from around the world, and especially from the major animation production studios in Hollywood, California.
Based on like this pixel's position, solid, since I know where I want that.
The MIA Animation Conference and Festival is scheduled to include the latest industry software designers, animation artists, and power players who will network with our students, faculty, and all conference attendees to share in the latest news and technologies about this ever-evolving industry.
And this year we're bringing like a lineup of very impressive speakers. One of them is Tom Cito, who was the animator of The Beauty and the Beast. Another speaker that we're bringing is Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards is CEO of The Third Floor. And The Third Floor is a pre-visualization studio. Kimberly Benenson, she is the director of development, the current director of development of Walt Disney Television Animation.
In 2000, I developed, as Mauricio mentioned, the Baldo comic strip. It got syndicated by Universal Press Syndicate. It was, at that time, the 4th largest launch of any comic strip that they had launched in their 30-year history.
I want to cater my talk to what's evolving in our industry because it's very interesting how the job market is evolving based on some of these innovations.
But what we do is we'll create an animated sequence. It could be a minute, 2 minutes long, that will engage the viewer and tell a story through animation. And the different techniques that we'll use will vary depending on either the subject matter or maybe even just the mood of our artist that day. So we might do something that's traditional cell animation. It might be motion graphics, which is just moving images on the screen. It could be 3D computer-generated animation. We employ all of those techniques, which means that the artists that we employ have to be multidisciplinary, trained, and understand the tools and the technology to do that.
And we have, of course, the Animation Festival, where we invite everybody, the whole world, to send their animated movies to be showcased here.
You know, as we say in the biz, networking is essential to ensure the success, and what better way to meet the movers and the shakers in the world of animation than have them convene right here in October and have our students, faculty and staff, and the community partake in the events scheduled during the conference and festival.
This is quite an opportunity for not only for Miami-Dade College and the industry, but as importantly for the greater Miami area. And animation and 3D graphic design are a growing industry here in the South Florida area, so it's only fitting that Miami-Dade College is hosting the MIA Animation Conference and Festival 2014.
Juan, unveil. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the official program for this press conference.
Welcome back. That was a really nice performance by a 6-year-old. We're going to be talking now to Leah Rachel Kasper, who just turned 6 years old. She began to play at age 5, and at 6, she's a noted mimic, actress, dancer, and guitar player. Welcome, Leah. You like to play guitar?
Yes.
Yeah. Like you've been playing for a few months, haven't you?
1.5 years.
What? That long? No, I don't think that long. But you have a brother who plays guitar, an older brother. Are you better than him?
No.
No, he's pretty good, right? You'll be as good as he is. Now, when we play music, we gotta count, right? And so we gotta count 1, 2, 3, but that gets kind of boring, right? And so you got a better way of doing it, like you can look like a cat, right?
Yes.
How do you do that? Like meow meow? How does it go? Like when you count, you say? How do you do it for us? Wow, that's so nice. But even that kind of like gets a little bit boring, right? So after that, like you snap, and you can do snapping, right?
Yes.
And you have like one where you do it really quick. Can we see that? Can you snap for us? Wow, look at that. That's the one that ends fast. Wow, that's so great. But even that gets kind of boring after a while, right? And then you gotta look at like a little dog, like poodle. Can you do that? Wow, that is excellent. Now even that can get tiring. So after a while, of course, there's only one thing to do, and that is to count in Russian. So how do you do it? Can you count in Russian from 1 to 3?
2, 3.
Wow, that was amazing. And Leah, you like guitar? You like playing? You practice?
Yes.
Or you like practice? You practice every day, like for many hours, I'm sure, right?
No.
No. For like how long? Like 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
10.
Okay. Well, now we're going to listen to Leah play for us a second piece on the guitar. Welcome back to our talent, and Leah, that was very nice. How long did it take you to learn that second song? Was it difficult to do? Like you were playing like 2 fingers. Like, are the fingers doing like they're walking, or are they actually running?
You're running.
They're running because you're pretty fast, right? And then you do what, the thumb and the finger, but you never make a mistake. How come? You always get the string right. How does that happen? Well, you practice a lot, right? Well, not a lot, like not hours and hours, but like 10 minutes, right? You want to be a famous guitar player and like go all over the world and go to Europe and Moscow and everywhere and play? Well, maybe something to think about. All right. Well, we want to thank you again for watching another episode of Our Talent, and we hope to be back very soon with more talent from continuing education. This is Juan Carlos Vera.